India defeated South Africa by 101 runs in the first T20. This was the first game where South Africa were outplayed on the tour. The Proteas won the Test series and gave India a tough fight in the ODI series. The T201 series was also expected to be nail-biting, but India proved why they are the best team in the world in this format of the game. The second T20I will be played in Mulanpur, a venue that has seen some very high-scoring games. The batting from both teams was lethargic by both the teams, of course. For India, only Hardik Pandya crossed the 50-run mark and helped India to a decent total of 175-6. South Africa, on the other hand, were bowled out 474. Both teams need to sort out the batting issues before the second game. India won't bother much as most of their batters are in good form, but the form of Suryakumar Yadav will be a massive worry. The Indian captain has been woefully out of form and must find form soon, with the World Cup not far away. South Africa have had a brutal batting on paper, but India have a cold attack, and it won't be easy to get runs against them. However, Dew could play in favour of the Proteas if they are batting second. And now I have Sunil Yashkalra, cricket scholar. Sunil, I'd like your opening comments on this to begin with.
Well, absolutely. T20 game is never an alien form of cricket to India. In fact, we thrive. We are kind of the most successful team when it comes on the T20 format. Whether you call it the women's, women's, you call it the under-19, or you can call the league system. But there seems to be some problem with the tinkering of the batting and the middle order. Of course, Hardik Pandya, being Hardik Pandya, will come and score at will, and he knows how to play those agriculture shots, which are very perfect and makes it look like poetry. I mean, again, there's a complete irony here, but he does it to the perfection. But Suryakumar Yadav, make no mistakes, he's one of the best suited T20 player for from India to the rest of the world. Yes, so India by far is the most successful team when it comes to the T20 format, Vishal.
Now, Hardik, Sunil was of course the star of the show. He slammed 59 off 28 balls with the bat to power India to 175-6 in 20 overs. What do you have to say for that?
Well, very good question. In fact, I have a very, I've been watching this thing for the past 2 years. And it's a very difficult situation for Hardik Pandya, being Hardik Pandya. Just imagine, a couple of years ago, he was touted as India's successor, as the king Hardik Pandya, who would lead the country to the T20 World Cup and T20 Championship. But what has happened? Because of his injury, he's been ignored, and the mantle and the throne has been offered to Suryakumar Yadav, who's doing a brilliant job altogether. But when you look at him, he seems to be an injured captain. You know, somewhere he's nursing the grudge that he's not been able to make it to the Indian skippership. But at the same time, he's become very intense. He's become very super laser focused on the field. So whenever he comes into bat, he doesn't just go for a boundary or a six. He just makes a point. And if you've looked at the first T20, he didn't even look at after hitting the spinner, you know, Maharaj. He hit him for a six and made it look as if he's out for a revenge. And that's what the good part about it is. At times, hurt is good. And I think this hurt is doing wonders for India, because he's emerging as the #1 all-rounder in the world for T20 game, whether it's your club league or the national side. Yes.
Sunil, let's also talk about Jasprit Bumrah, who's achieved the milestone of 100 wickets and has also become the first Indian bowler in cricket history to take at least 100 international wickets in all three formats.
Well, absolutely. It's a matter of great joy that we are in a process. We are watching and witnessing the greatest fast bowler India has ever produced in any time. When you look at it, the right-arm fast bowler, he's certainly up in all-time greats list. He gives the lesser number of runs when he opens the bowling. He's definitely the one who gives, he's got a lethal potency of mix of bowling. When he talks about the death bowling, his strike rate is really high in terms of taking wickets, and the number of runs he gives is absolutely low. So when you look in the history of all white ball cricket ever, played since 1970 onwards. He seems to be the best bowler from right-hander to bowl this part. So he's going in with this confidence. He's at the prime of his action. He takes one step at a time. He doesn't take too many tournaments at the go. So what is happening is that his recovery time for the body is really good. Remember, in the next 3 months, 2.5 months, India is going to play the World Cup, T20 World Cup, and then which we are the defending champion, and then we will go on to play the IPL, which means that it's going to be 4.5 months of back-to-back pressure situation. And I think this series is doing good for Bumrah, that he's bowling. He's trying to bowl his new deliveries that he's managed to pick up. And I think that's a good sign for Team India. Yes.
You know, Sunil, the win also has helped Suryakumar Yadav lead India take a 1-0 lead in the 5-match series. What do you have to say about that one?
Oh, well, when you look at his cricketing record as the Test captain in T20, I think he's one of the most successful, not just Indian T20 skipper, but he is in the top 3 all-time high when you look at the Australians and the England as well, and they were the world champions at some stage of time. So when you look at Suryakumar Yadav, he's a late bloomer to the game, so he's got the match maturity far greater than any of these team members around. B, he's developed and upskilled his game so well. When you look at his scoring, when you look at the wagon wheel, it's evenly distributed all across. So it makes it even difficult for the other team to place fielding for him. And see the kind of chatting and the kind of friendliness that he has shown, even with an 18-year-old or a 14-year-old Suryavanshi to a 37-year-old playing the T20. I think it's a matter of great pride that India has got Suryakumar Yadav, and he's doing a great job. I think he's taken it like a duck to a water, that he's going in effortlessly and just going out there. Yes.
And Sunil, a little bit on the South African players as well. Let's talk about the other side too. What would you like to say on that?
Well, absolutely. Well, de Kock, after he came back from his retirement, he's doing a phenomenal job. I mean, look at the maturity, look at the poise that he brings behind the wicket. I wish we had a wicket keeper as experienced as Quinton de Kock and as smasher as him, like he does and Gilchrist used to do. That is one part that India is missing, the T20 wicket keeper. Jitesh, of course, in and out, but Adam Markram, again, one of the best in the business. He's really top of the list. The third thing that I look at is Temba Bavuma. Of course, Temba means hope, and he's provided hope to the entire South African team. And the way he plays, the way he marshals his troops, I think it's a matter of great sight. I'm looking forward to the spin duo of Muthuswamy and Maharaj, but I think it's going to be a little longer. Somehow I get a feeling that South African will never go in with 2 spinners. There was a time when Keshav Maharaj and Shamsi used to do it, but I think it's dwindled. So the fast bowling is very good. They've got the line, the length, but somehow Indians, having played the IPL, know how to hit them across the line and play those improvising shots. But overall, I think India has got a yard or two ahead of their opponent, South Africa, on this series. Yes.
Sunil, stay on with me. I'll come back to you in a few minutes. Now, the